Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all attendees who are joining in from various parts of the globe. CIPS Northern Emirates branches extend their warm wishes, and it is indeed a pleasure to have you all with us this morning for this exciting event. Today, 10th of July 2021, this is our 41st event since the committee was formed, and today we are proud to host you an event on logistics management. As you might very well know by now that CIPS Northern Emirates branch brings you every time topics that are relevant to the current business environment and the marketplace. If I may ask a supply chain professional in this region today about what is his most pressing issues of today, the answer may be freight or vessel availability, container shortages, geopolitical issues, tariffs, and things like that. Collectively, they fall under logistics management, and it is one of the most talked about subject today and brainstormed in meeting rooms today. Today, we as CIPS Northern Emirates branch are honored to have with us Mr. Wala Maher. Mr. Wala is a leader in end-to-end supply network, cost savings, healthy inventory, and cash flow. And today, he heads the supply chain and logistics in the world's largest ceramic tiles company, which is Rack Ceramics. He handles about 170 to 170,000 SKUs, retail operations, showroom, and other things in about 160 countries. I will not take much time because I'll be giving him the time to explain about himself. And without further ado, let me pass on the stage to Mr. Wala to hear from him about logistics management in the year 2021 and future. Over to you, Mr. Wala.
So thanks a lot, Anish. Thanks for the introduction. I like the video. Okay, I see lots of food as well during the sessions. I see lots of colleagues. Okay, first let me share my screen and tell me when you can see it so we can make sure that logistics-wise we are okay. Can you see my screen?
We can see your screen. Yes, we can view it.
Yes, okay. So, okay, first, before you saw my screen, I believe you saw my background, if my video appears as well. Okay, you'll see lots of monitors, you'll see lots of stuff. I'll explain why in supply chain we need this stuff. Okay, and what is the supply chain in the modern world means. I was just talking with Bala and Anish before we start. Supply chain have been there since God created the whole globe. Okay, yet it is still a young job. So I'm Egyptian. All those countries that you see highlighted there is basically the countries that already I visited, I lectured in, and I am registered in as a lecturer and as an instructor. Okay, I started in science school. I'm a chemist by profession. So you see here this young chemist who's screwing up the lab. I joined P&G. I'm a P&G veteran for 11 years. I'm extremely proud of my time in P&G, and this is like the star on the shoulder that you get recognized with as first place. Then I moved to the rival, the Kimberly-Clark. Okay, so same product, different portfolio, and different scope as well. At my time in Kimberly-Clark, in my time in P&G, I was a supply chain 100% with something that we call material management organization as well. Okay, material management organization is more of the purchasing, but without the contract part. Then in my time in Kimberly-Clark, I was managing purchasing as well because I was the director of supply chain and logistics, and in Kimberly-Clark, purchasing comes under supply chain. Of course, this is different designs between different countries and companies as well. I've been in Rack Ceramics for the past 3 years. As I said, I've visited more than 40 countries. I've been honored by, I would say, screwing up the minds of 22,000 individuals now. Welcome to my network. Now you are some of the people that are added to my network. I made more than 100,000 hours of training beside my normal job. Why I do the trainings? Simply because I like, okay, first I like talking. Second, I like doing trainings. I have my own blog. I have my own channel. I have my own Udemy courses as well. They are all for free. Nothing is paid. Just I appreciate a like and subscribe. I was just telling them. So it appeals to the algorithm for the young learners. Every video you will find 2 copies of it, English and Arabic, because I'm Egyptian, I'm Arabic speaker, and there is no supply chain trainings enough in Arabic. So I started it in Arabic first. Then I found out that most of the people requesting from me English translation. So I switched it to one Arabic and one English. Okay. And you'll find the videos in Arabic is much longer because Arabic is a very nice language to talk too much with. Okay. Then moving to what is rack ceramics and why we are always talking about rack ceramics, especially when we are talking about Northern Emirates. Okay. As Anis said, we are the largest ceramic producer in the globe. We have 170,000 SKUs as of now. We are shipping out to 160 countries, and this is all in centralized manufacturing facility in Northern Emirates, in Ras Al Khaimah, and a couple of factories, one in Bangladesh, two in India. Okay, but when we talk volumes, those are more for the local volumes and some export product. But the compound in UAE here is the largest compound for ceramics industry in the world. Okay, while company like Ideal Standard but you know the brands of the ceramics, the competitors, okay, they are all respected, they are all everything, but they have different factors in different countries. We are centralized in UAE. Being centralized in UAE and being part of the UAE community, being owned by His Highness the ruler of Ras Al Khaimah. Also, we have our CEO is on the top 100 Arab power list since 2014. So you can imagine the pressure that we are having every day and the challenge we are having every day to convince someone with this brains, okay, about our ideas and the benefit to the business. So if he believes in one of us, then we are getting the other star on the other shore. Okay, why we are here? Simply, I'm a believer in Zig Ziglar words, which is saying, if you are not willing to learn, nobody can help you. But if you are here already, then you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Okay? So, moving forward, there are some recommendations, and I will discuss it as we go. It's fast recommendation already in the presentation that will be sent to you. Okay? How I got in love with supply chain. I started playing a game called Transport Tycoon since 1995. So I was, I would call it a teenager. Okay, I was like 14 or 15. I found this game. I'm a computer geek, as you can imagine. And I started looking into the games that have a special design. I'm not into shooting games. I'm in strategy games. Then this game just got my attention, and you can find on my YouTube channel lots of me discussing this game specifically. But this game, if you look at it, it is extremely complicated supply chain, purchasing, logistics, and ownership of a company game that you start your own logistic company and you start connecting the factory by an electric hub and connecting the factory by the sources of the material. Then if you are connecting all this, you are getting money. But if you are not taking the goods that this factory is producing and shipping it to the city, it will not get you the full value of the chain. And you can do it by bus, truck, by train, by aeroplane, by vessels. It is a magnificent open source game. Okay, and again, I believe in open source. I believe in the Android style. I believe in the open source games. Okay, those are the one. We are not here to get money from each other. We are here to help each other. So you can find it. It is called OpenTTD for free, 10 kilobytes. It does not need any previous experience in computer, or it needs any experience. Any strong hardware. Any simple computer can do it. Okay. Then enough talking about games, talking about being lecture and being sophisticated, and those are the books that I believe without them you can be a good purchasing, supply chain, logistics. We are all in the organization of serving people. Okay. If you do not read those books at least once in your life, okay, you will keep being good, not a great purchaser or supply chain and logistics professional. Okay. Some of them are focused on sales, some of them are focused on S&OP, some of them are focusing on the material resource planning and manufacturing resource planning, but they are all themed about the goal, why we are here, why we are doing businesses. Okay. Now you have played the game, now you have taken the training, you are here, Zig Ziglar. What this will change you? What this will make a difference for you? Okay. Simply, it is switching you from a normal employee to an entrepreneurial employee. What is the difference between an employee and an entrepreneurial employee? One of the things that I hate is the word, I'm an entrepreneur, or I will open a new business as an entrepreneur. Yeah, thanks a lot. The word entrepreneur is here from the 60s, but now it's becoming like, oh la la, it's a new stuff that we are, some people are moving around and say it without understanding actually what is an entrepreneur. There is a full discussion that I make every, I believe every 3 weeks, I make like a Wala verse, a network that I connect with the people in it to just talk about the pains in the supply chain, the pains in the community of the industry. For the past year, every time we are faced by someone who's saying I'm an entrepreneur, I'm the CEO, I'm a new entrepreneur, but we disconnect him from the network. We know that he's fake. Okay, some of them are real, but maybe 1% from every 100. Okay, so the entrepreneurial employee is the one who's serving the business, his business or someone else's business. But we cannot all be business owners. We cannot be all managers. We cannot be all directors. We cannot be all general managers. Okay, that's why you will find, if anyone have my LinkedIn contact, you will find that I'm sharing as much as I can tips for the working bees. We cannot be a queen bee, all of us. There is only one queen bee for the whole hive. So we are working bees. So the difference between the owner, okay, then the entrepreneurial employee is the one directly serving the owner, directly serving his GM, directly he's serving the leader of the business. Okay, the owner or the partner or the GM or the director is focusing on the vision, the high stake of success of the organization. He's looking for compatible mindset with him or with her. The entrepreneurial employee is 1 or 2 maximum in every 100 employees. So if you think that you are an entrepreneurial employee, let's agree that you are, okay, a high performer for sure, because you are here in the session on your weekend. But we need to check the second step. Are you an entrepreneurial employee or not? Okay. The high performer employee are 10 to 20% for every 100 employees. You are here, then you are good. Now, what about the rest of the crowd, the rest of the people? The 80% of the organization. The 80% of the organization, guys, they are not bad. They are needed. They are not extra workforce. Of course, we are not talking about the 5% who's really bad performers and they need to exit any organization. And we will not talk about this. We are talking about the 4 steps of being a good employee. The rest of the crowd just are needed for serving the business and needed for the balance. They are genius who will think about the idea. Good. Then there is an entrepreneurial employee who will execute the idea and drive the force. Then there are the workers, the hunters, the fighters who will fight for this idea to be life. And once it switched from being an idea to be a real project on the ground, then transfer from being a project to be a normal work. Every project that we all work it in, after executing the project, خلاص, it is not a project anymore. It is our way of life. At this point, you need to have your entrepreneurial high performers moving to the next project, and the normal employees, the good ones, working the day-to-day activity. Okay. And entrepreneurial employee have very specific individual characters. And because we are talking about supply chain and logistics, I'll talk about the characteristics that is needed in someone who's focusing on the supply chain and logistics. Okay. So the guy who's working as an entrepreneurial supply chain architect should be extremely punctual, extremely punctual. Extremely. I'm repeating it like hell. Okay. He need to be observing. He have an observable eye. He can observe the stuff that normal people cannot observe. That even entrepreneurial HR employee, entrepreneurial purchaser, entrepreneurial marketeer, he need to be better than them. Because an entrepreneurial marketeer will come with an idea. Once the idea is up there in the air, the entrepreneurial supply chain guy need to, you know, like the movies, his eye need to start splitting. This idea is can be working, can work here, cannot be working here. Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? And you will find most of them are drawing on the walls. Yes, we are a little bit mad. This is usual. Okay, Bala here can tell you the amount of whiteboards that I have in my room in the office, and she can tell you as well that I use any piece of glass that is moving around. I have always the marker in my head, and I start scrapping whatever idea comes, because the supply chain and logistics people, unfortunately, they are visual. If you look into, if you read the history of Sheikh Mohammed, Sheikh Zayed, okay, it was written by Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, talking about his father, that his father, when he was designing Jabal Ali, okay, he was not designing it, he was not an engineer, but he was looking literally to the desert and saying, yes, the water can pass from here, the ships can come from here, the trucks can come from here, and they were looking to him like, it's a desert. He can visualize the movement. And once he visualized the movement, the visionary visualized the movement, khalas, it's an execution. The supply chain and logistics person need to have this as a mindset. Laser focused, and sometimes you will find that, unfortunately, we become laser focused to the extent that we are just focused, like we don't have a personal life. We don't have too much friends. We are just laser focused on our area. Okay. Conflict free. I always tell my colleagues in any department, I'm independent consultant. Why? I'm a delivery boy. Whatever you want, I will deliver. Okay. Whatever I need, purchasing will get it to me. If I'm leading the purchasing, we will make it happen. My job is easy, extremely easy. Everything can be solved by money. Just if you give us enough time and you request the correct request, so we can give you what you need. The supply chain specifically should be easily led and easy lead. He knows when to step back and let the purchaser lead. And he knows when he step up and put his requirement. 100 times you will find me fighting with my colleagues. I'm focusing here on the purchaser example because you are all from this category. You will find me fighting and shouting about my needs. Once it comes to supplier choice, negotiation of price, contract wordings or whatever, I'll step back. I'll just be silent. Not my domain. Yeah, my domain if I am heading the purchasing. But I even if the person who's doing the contract is a purchaser executive hired yesterday, just fresh graduate. His job is the supplier owner and the contract owner. My job is to give him 100% my requirement. My job is to give him 100% of the specification, 100% of the testing of the samples. After that, I should step back. I shouldn't talk. I should learn. Shut up. He's the leader in this. During the discussion with the supplier, if we are attending the meeting together, if I am a GM and he's a junior executive, okay, we agree on how we will discuss outside. Then inside the meeting, he needs to know who's the stronger dog. The supplier needs to know who is calling the shots. So who's calling the shots? The purchaser. So even if he's a junior executive, you'll find silent. Except if we agree that someone will be the bad cop and the good cop. I believe Bala, after that, when she meets with you, she will tell you how many times we played this game together. Okay. At the end of the game, we are here to add value. If we are just making presentations or just talking about, yeah, supply chain and logistics and Habibi, a grocery store in a wasteland, nobody knows about it, in a village, in end of earth, knows supply chain better than anyone. He knows his customers, he knows what they need, he knows his product, he manages his inventory, he purchases his own item. Imagine a baqala, supermarket, small store, small cold store, in any place that you know in the world. This guy is a whole organization by himself. Okay, so for sure, they know better than you. We are here to add values to our companies. Okay. Next. This to summarize why supply chain is different and have all those monitors and have all those stuff, just because we need to talk 10 different languages. I cannot talk with my leadership team without knowing how our stocks are doing, how our sales are doing, how we are doing in each and every single market. Where we are the first seller in UAE. We are number 12 in Italy. We are number 2 in Germany. If I do not have this information and know this information and memorize this information and update this information, I will be talking different language than my leadership team and my marketing and sales. Maybe I will give priority to the shipment to Sharjah, okay, and I lose the opportunity that our biggest market is in Abu Dhabi or Al Ain, and there we are selling the most expensive product. Okay, if I will focus on, yes, I need to solve the transportation issue with Oman. Okay, I'm shipping 2 trucks to Oman every month, but I'm shipping 100 trucks to Saudi every day. Okay, so for sure, I need to be talking as well. Where is my biggest market? Where is my biggest volume? I need to know the margins. Why I need to know the margins? I need to talk finance. I need to talk P&L, because I said my job is easy. I will just increase the price, not an issue. The supplier request increase on the price, or I request something fancy in the car, like I request GPS in all my cars. Okay, this is adding like 50 dirhams per trip per truck. 50 dirhams per trip per truck divided by the amount of product I'm shipping per truck. This is adding 0.05 dirham per piece of product. I need to confirm that our margin can cover this. Okay. It is the job of the supply chain to finish all this before going to the purchaser and say, please, I want GPS. Tell your suppliers that I want GPS. So I submit for them the request and the study. The supply chain who will wait for the purchaser to tell him his job He is not even from the 80% of the crowd. Okay. Why supply chain is so unique of all this data and all this requirement? Simply because having all these requirements, people look to the supply chain as it appears on the screen. Yeah, it's just a delivery. Tell your guys to take the forklift and offload the container. Yes, do you know how to offload the container? Do you know how much time it takes? Do you know how much time it takes for the container to park, okay, and be ready? If you have a loading bay and if you do not have a loading bay, if you have a loading bay, is it cement loading bay or a metal loading bay? You do not know these details. So people, or what the owners and the CEOs want to look at is only this picture, this macro helicopter view picture, and they don't care. Who will care for the details? It will be for every sector. Someone is looking to every single part that is related to just every small sector of it. How we are doing the packaging, is the product is insured or not, what type of truck it needs, the safety regulations, which type of forklift it can carry. Have we got the documentation of the bank release, and have we paid all the dues on the port? What is the weight of the container and how we will handle it at the port? Are we secured from steering and safety standpoint? What is the time or the tag time for each step? Okay, individually, what each box can be held, because for every country there is different regulation. Like here in UAE, you cannot have a box that is higher than 24 kgs. Okay, 25 is your max. They have 1 kg only for tolerance. Okay, but it should be 24. So I cannot agree with the saving project that someone in the operation will just tell me, yeah, we will pack some more so we can utilize more, so we can reduce the packing material, blah, 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 blah. Habibi, there is a law. Okay, so we are not legal, but we are the law keeper in the supply chain. Then can it be handled individually by a person or not? Okay, because after all, your product need to go to the customer. This customer need to handle this product. Okay, can it be handled or not? Is the product is barcoded or not? Yes, it can contain a barcode, but is this a selling barcode or an internal barcode? If you look to the back of your phone or the back of your laptop, you will find 15 on the laptop specifically, 15 barcode. None of them is selling barcode. Only the final barcode of the computer will be flagged down. This is the one that gets scanned so you can sell. This is the only one that need to be registered as an EN code globally. So the laptop cannot be scanned in Carrefour and you find that you have a product of bread. Marketeers does not know this information. It is the job of the supply chain to take care of it. Okay. Then all the normal jobs related, till now, we didn't take it in our warehouse. This is all pre. Then you will focus on inside the warehouse. You will focus on how to get the material, how to talk with your distribution and customers, because the supply chain is extremely complicated for every single item in the previous slide. You can see that only for the carton, it's a complicated supply. To get the carton, only the carton, empty at your factory, you need to look into the same exact chain. Who's the supplier? Does he have the right material or not? Is he using the right oil or not? Is he using the right ink or not? Okay, how he will transport to you when he's making his pallet? What is the height of the pallet? Can it go to your truck or not? Is it X-Works or CIF or DDB or DGU or huge chain just for every single box? Looking into the 16 items that I flagged, and again, I flagged, it means it is not all the supply chain. Every single one of them need to be completed and well examined every single time. every single change. There is a study saying that there is 50 or more changes per second in every supply chain. 80% of what we are dealing with as purchaser, as supply chain, because again, we are all a big organization called, after all, supply chain. Actually, they call it supply network operations. Okay, many of the petroleum companies, the chief purchasing officer is called chief purchasing and supply chain. In rack ceramics, the chief purchasing officer was leading the supply chain. Okay, you have lots of changes, and unfortunately, the majority is happening outside your borders to work with. Okay, let me have a little sip of my coffee so I can continue the rest. Good to now? Hopefully. Okay. Now we talked about the complexity of supply chain. What is outside our chain? We know it. We will handle it. What is inside our chain, inside our control? Number one, demand and supply volatility. This is like the most painful part in the last surveys that was done. So purchaser talk to me, please, I want to make contracts for my wood, my petrol, my oil, whatever. Because of the demand volatility, my reply will be, sorry, till now we didn't get the sales forecast, we didn't get the supply forecast. So what we can do is, please just look into the historical usage of the past 12 months, and when divided by 12, this will give you at least an 80% image. My reply is extremely professional, yet it is one of the worst replies that you can get. As a purchaser, I know that it is painful. Okay, I know that someone is laughing. If the people I know are connected in this session, probably they are laughing and they remember my emails telling them this. I say in front of everyone, this is a professional email, but a very bad email. Because simply I'm saying I'm blind like you, sorry. So the purchaser is coming to me to tell me, give me visibility. I'm telling him, sorry, blind, let's go and start focusing our way where the hell we will go. And when the supplier want to arrange his raw material, the purchaser will tell him, sorry, demand by volatility, what we will do. Second pain, team alignment. The sales want sales. They want the customer to get the material, whatever the cost. Yeah, Habibi, it cannot be whatever the cost. Okay. No, I want it today. Yeah, Baba. We are not working in DHL. Even DHL, we tell you next day delivery. In DHL, you cannot go right now, walk in and tell him, please deliver this tonight. He will tell you, go deliver it yourself. We are not in the business of delivering it, because you need to have a plan. So the team alignment is extremely important. And one of the things that I advise you as a brother, okay, align with your team. If you are working on a project, nobody will steal it from you. Nobody will take the credit and will hide it. Go and say, guys, I have this idea. I'm working on it. Are you aligned with this idea? Because simply, you can waste all your time, then comes someone and say, no, this is not workable because you didn't look to this, or I have a contact with my customer that we cannot go for this choice. Okay. You will find that supply chain visibility, the previous boxes, is the third page. Of course, this is then comes the data availability, then comes the talent availability. This is painful areas that we are all in. But if you look into the market dynamics, is above 50% of the issues that we are facing. Okay. Fact, we are moving extremely fast in the innovation and the changes that the old way cannot work anymore. And when I say the old way, it means the way that we were using it 2 years back. 2 years back, we didn't have any Zoom meetings. Actually, I believe 2 years back, I don't know how many people are in the session, but just put your hand on the heart like this. And have you heard about the word Zoom? Let's have a Zoom meeting 2 years back. Just I don't want the reply. I know the reply because I'm an investor in Zoom. Okay, I know that the total users 2-3 years back was less than 20,000. 20,000 globally. Why? Because there was Skype, there was. Yes, some of them knew it. Just because we didn't have Skype in UAE, so we had to use something else. So we were trying and making good choices. Now Zoom became a word. Let's have Zoom. Let's Zoom. Now Zoom became a word, a terminology that even if we are having a meeting using Webex or Team or whatever, the people will say, let's Zoom, so everyone will understand that we will have a virtual conference. Then someone will say, no, I will send you Teams link, or I will send you a Webex link. Actually, Webex, the first service globally for business conferences, is not even in the quadrant this month that was published by Gartner. Not even in the first quadrant. Khalas, bye-bye. To slow security issues, many things. But there are new players. This in one category, telecommunication. This telecommunication for you as a purchaser, for the guys who's working in Zoom, for the supply chain of Zoom, okay, it means servers, development, it means purchasing of servers, it means purchasing of bandwidths, purchasing of links, purchasing of everything. It means for you as a purchaser in your company, okay, it means headphones, cameras, which type of headphones, okay, is it the shitty Toshiba brand or the Sony, or we get something just for business, or we get a Chinese knockoff, okay? I'm sorry that I just said shitty about our Toshiba brand, because please, Toshiba, stay at your TVs and whatever you are producing. Stop screwing up the business of the cameras, the laptops, and it's not a nice brand, you know. Japanese, but not nice. Okay. Again, I'm a geek. Sorry. So some items are extremely near my heart when I talk about. Okay. So because of the changes, we were always talking S&P. Where is the S&P? Where is the? I didn't get my data from the S&P. Habibi, S&P is bye-bye. First, S&P, the creator of S&P, Oliver White, okay, which I had the pleasure to meet him in person. Okay, it's great to meet a genius person. He already diluted it and said it's gone away nearly 8 years back. It is called IPP right now, Integrated Business Planning. Okay, S&P is bye-bye. But the people are still talking S&P. And talking it since 1969. And by 1999, 500,000 company was already registered with the Oliver White organization that they have a system of an S&P. 52 years later, please, again, your hand on your heart and ask yourself, does your company have really strong S&P process? So When you have an S&OP process, you have a proper demand plan. So you have a better demand visibility. So you can order the material from your supplier on the right time. I believe not. Okay. Maybe if we have 50 people in the call, maybe 2 of you only will have a proper S&OP process, that one of after the meeting, after the alignment meeting that comes once per month, you can have a visibility saying, yes, thank you. You can buy this from your suppliers, or you can book this containers, or you can take this number of trucks from the market. Actually, the 1,000 blue chip company, and we are showing blue chip companies, you are counting McDonald's, you are counting P&G, you are counting Unilever, you are counting the most top companies in the world. Okay. From 1,000, and this is like a survey that was made in year 2020, before the corona, so it is not affected by corona. From those top 1,000 companies, 1/3 of them have a broken S&OP process. It means from this 1,000, there are 350 purchasers woke up every day and God knows what they will buy today. Here comes why you need a supply chain person. Why you need a supply chain talent, even you are a purchaser. This is a real case study. Some of the people in the call here will know it well. Okay, this is where you can get supply chain, take control, lead the discussion, then the purchaser start giving the solution. So sales were complaining, guys, we are not shipping on time. Supply chain cannot ship what we want. We are losing sales because of bad shipping and service providers that the purchasing are doing. Our P&L is in red because of the delivery and the transportation cost. Okay. When you split it to focus areas, us as a producer and seller will just look to the phenomenon. What is the phenomenon? Yes, we have planned to pay 500,000 dirhams. Now we are paying more than 500,000 dirhams. If you look as the supplier, the vendor, the trucker, the 3PL, we are not delivering because we are not getting our trucks the turnaround trip fast, because the factory is delaying us. Sales team is saying we are not in target because of this issue, so we cannot sell. So the next order is a VIP order. You are delaying our pipeline. I am supposed to give my customer 12 orders per year, every month 1 order, but when you delay 1 order for 1 week, I will lose. So I will make only 11 orders. You are the reason that I didn't get my P&L. Customer, the retailer, his phenomena is, I don't give a damn about your supply chain. My order is delayed, especially if it's a wholesaler and someone is expecting to get the material. And if you are selling retail, there is a guy waiting at his house, waiting for your product. And he doesn't care if Amazon does not have someone to deliver. The first impression will be, fleet is not enough. Let's increase the fleet. Or someone will say, because the budget was lower than planned and we were squeezed by the management team to reduce the budget. That's why we are not paying enough. So drivers are angry. So service providers are angry. Blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is not our mistake. Simple. The bottom line is when you start hearing this blah, 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 someone is trying to remove the monkey from his shoulder. Not my monkey. And we all know the monkey business. The 3PL, yes. Supply chain and logistics, they hate us because we took their job. They hate us because we are a service provider. They hate us because my cousin was working with his cousin, because his cousin did this to his wife, and his wife is from the same country and the same city, and they have issues with his grandmother. Yeah, Sheikh. Bottom line, not our mistake. Sales team, purchasing have got us a bad provider to make cost cutting so they can get their own target, and we don't get our target. So simply not our mistake. So not the S&OP, not that there is no demand, not that there is no visibility. No, not our mistake. Monkey. Just put the monkey on the other shoulder. The customer, I don't care. He will just stop dealing with you. He will just look for someone who will commit. Or at least he will deal with you, but only with half of the volume. So when you get delayed, the other supplier deliver the material on time. What is the difference between having a proper supply chain person, proper entrepreneurial supply chain person, and having just an experience, the 80% rest of the crowd? I added here in the slide, the slide that we talked about. The rest of the crowd will only think the non-systematic way with their experience, which is, okay, increase the number of vehicles, fire and hire some people. Okay, fire this guy. Fire this bugger. I heard fire this bugger like 100 times. Okay, fire this bugger. Fire this bugger. This bugger. No, because he had this issue. Fire him. Hire some other person. Even to the extent, Wala is bad. Wala cannot manage it. Now, I was hired because someone was before me, and I will leave because someone else will come. This is usual. We are all like this. This is like, they call it the employment slavery process. This is normal. Okay. Fire this bugger. Okay. This service provider is bad. We'll get you agility. We'll get you DHL. You don't like this small company, we'll get you someone else. We will buy our own fleet. Squeeze all the chain to get the result. We call it muscling. Okay. Yet, the entrepreneurial employee will just take it in a systematic approach. Number one, DRP, distribution resource planning. Look to your resources, look to its distribution across the network and plan it. You will find one of the books that never leaves my place is distribution resource planning. Okay, how to be fast in the replenishment across. It is not only about the distribution physical, but it is all about the mindset. Again, Oliver White, and it was written by someone called Andrew Martin. This is how to switch your brain to think about the resource plan. Then go to each phenomena and make a 5W2H, okay, YY analysis, fishbone analysis. The three tools, yes, the three tools, because the the 5W2H will tell you what, when, just top line. Then you will take the why from it and make a YY analysis. Why this happened? Why this happened? Be a child. My colleagues will always hear me saying, treat me as a lemon. Sorry guys, treat me as an idiot. Every time, step into a meeting like an idiot, like someone who's listening for the first time. The fishbone analysis will tell you exactly if this why is because of the 4 M's. Again, there are hundreds of trainings on the YouTube about those items. We will not waste time in it, but you understand where I'm going for. If you need trainings on this, I can provide, but there is already availability on YouTube. Then you need to look into the STEP KPIs. STEP is a trademark for myself and my trainings, okay, which is service, time, efficiency, and profit. If you look first to the service, how I will provide the service on the right time with the correct efficiency, you will make the profit by design. Okay. How to make the service? Okay, the provider have set the gate to gate, so the time inside the factory is delaying him. Deploy gate to gate, measure a KPI, start testing it, start improving it, fix. to do it. Then outside your gate, make the turnaround trip cycle. Start measuring how much the truck is going and coming back from the customer. Then you may find that the customer is the one delaying him for 6 or 7 hours to offload the material. Okay, then you will start working on the utilization. By doing this by itself, you can improve 20–30%. When you are doing this, you are upgrading and assessing the tools of the providers. You need to hire and fire, but in the reverse, not fire and hire, not fire the bagger first and then inshallah we will hire. No. Keep the current team. Hire or move someone from different team to this team. Look, he or she looks on the current situation, assess the people, and then make the decision if you need to hire and fire. Maybe the guy is extremely good, but the pressure of work is making him work on daily basis 18 hours. Then by design, after 1 week, 2 weeks, he's overburdened. He cannot work anymore. Then forecasting. Get S&OP, get proper forecasting all the time. This is just screenshot after we solved the distribution resource planning. We started to have GPS on our trucks. We started to have email sent to us and sent to the customer with every step. Yes, your items are loaded. Your items are on the way. Your item is getting offloaded. Visually, the car that is in red means it is loaded. The green is empty. We started to have the KPIs, where we are distributing, where is my distribution, where is, of course, this data, the numbers are not correct, but those are real. Those are real tracking sheets that I am using on daily basis. I changed the data for the confidentiality, but this is how to manage a chain. Then a final thought, guys, if you are not mapping your chain for every single item you are purchasing, or your supply chain person is not doing it, okay, you will be in trouble. Especially the purchaser, the first one to be in trouble. You will get squeezed, your supplier will get squeezed, your supplier will get frustrated, some of them will cancel the contract. You know the issues. I do not need to flag it. And it's not an easy task. Need detailed mindset and need down to the reality. You need to get the people to talk. The screenshots that I added here are not something from the internet. This is my boards. This is where I flag. I have all the time like tons of colors around me and flag boards all over the place. And I start drawing. Whenever we are talking, wait, we will do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. Then this is the situation. Because we are all not native English speakers. Even English are not native English speakers. Just imagine an Irish talking to Scottish, talking to an London person. Okay, we translate whatever you are saying in our mother language in our head. Then we talk. So probably drawing is better. My last slide. Then we are open to question. I'm talking about simple. But remember, simple is not easy. These simple solutions that I've just flagged in the past 25 slides are simple, but not easy. The difference between simple and easy for the English translation part. When I walk to the door, I am moving from point A to point B, right? Simple. The marathon, to run the marathon, the Ironman marathon, the Ironman challenge, it is move from point A to point B. But it is 15 miles. Simple like this. So it is not easy. It is not as easy. I move to the door. So to summarize, the simple, not easy. Number one, embrace the commercial challenges and targets. Embrace what your number one in the organization wants. Number two, create visibility, dashboards, KPIs, visual, visual, visual. Use a tool, use an app, use Excel, use PowerPoint, but you need to have the data, create the visibility. The data in your drawer does not help you to grow. Reflect the critical business need on your processes and organization structure and KPIs. Deploy an integrated business plan in your area. In your area. I have this forecast, I have these sources, I have these people, I have those KPIs, an integrated working plan. So it is not only an S&OP process, only the salespeople will talk. No, no, no. In your area, make an integrated work plan. This is the only way to create a profitable end-to-end supply chain. Okay. That's all, folks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, Mr. Wala, and the great slides. As there is no surprise to me, as I'm working with you, and I used to see a lot more like this. But today, our CIPS team and our procurement professionals are really enjoying these slides and giving us good feedbacks in our WhatsApp groups and everywhere. I want to read one message from someone. Like, it is really happy to say that, like, he's telling that it's a great opportunity to listen Mr. Wala's speech. He is the expert who understands the topic deeper and broader till the last inch, brings in the best motivation to the tribe. Lucky team who works for him. So
Yeah, Bala, you know them well. Are they lucky?
that's what they're saying.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, just whoever sent this, thanks a lot for the nice words. But trust me, I would ask them if they are lucky or not. Okay, this is like a challenge.
That's what they're saying. They are so proud that they are supply chain, management employees, and they're really feeling proud of that today. And he is Mr. Peryaswamy, and he's also working in one of the manufacturing industry here in UAE. And there are a lot of messages we can see about this, and we are really thankful to you for such a wonderful presentation. As we are running out of time, let me take some.
I see the questions. Okay. Great speech. The salary levels still stay low in spite having the maximum business risk and management criticality in our portfolio. Unfortunately, salaries are low. Why? Profits of the companies are low. Simple like this. Every investor in the world is thinking about, if I will take the same exact amount of money and I will buy Bitcoin, how much it will return to me? Yes, there is a risk factor, but it can return to him 100%. Or I will put it in the bank in one of the countries that give shares. So for sure, salaries are low as much as you are giving benefit to the company. So I know companies that cut the salary of the people, and I know companies that returned this cut of the salary of the people when they made the profit. I know companies that during this situation have raised the salaries of the people. I know companies that never touched the salaries of the people and actually added to their income, okay, because those are the people, they believe deeply that those are the people are delivering the business. So salaries, unfortunately, in our field, if you are not marketing and sales, salaries are always like this. What is the first challenge you are facing in 2021 and beyond? Key is staying alive. This is the biggest challenge. Okay. Specific to supply chain, I don't understand. Specifically to supply chain, suppliers and getting the commitment on time. Okay, what are some
Okay, so we have few more questions in our WhatsApp group. I'll read it out.
Yes, please.
So the question from one of our attendee today: what are the best practices in logistics management? Like, procurement is having like minimum of 3 to 4 quotations we used to have, and then you have to approach the best practice like e-auctions, doing the benchmarking the prices, three-way check, etc. So what is for logistics management? Is there anything like that which companies have to ensure so that they can build a perfect logistics department?
Okay, so number one, and I'm not quoting here a certain company, but I'm talking about the service that companies are providing. Number one, you need to have a control tower. So like a control tower that give you the visibility by a tool end-to-end supply chain. So there is a company called Blue Yonder that provides such a tool. There is a company called Mob. There is I'm talking about the application itself, but the company, of course, because my brain does not have the application on top of my mind. Okay, that once you set the order from the purchaser and halas, the order is on the system, you can track it till it get produced, and the nitty details of how many grams of this material have went to each single material finished goods on your chain until it reach the customer. And by this, you can have the visibility on the whole supply chain. Unfortunately for us, the tools are still growing. They are not that organized, because every time something else will appear in the chain. Okay, what next?
Great. It is one of the major things. Okay, so here the main question which we are facing, of course, what are the some mitigation measures that we can put into place to mitigate the risk in supply chain? From Chris.
Okay. So first, what is the risk in the supply chain? The risk is actually, again, is not in the supply chain itself. The supply chain is just a tool. The risk is that you do not provide your product to the customer. So if you see that you do not supply, you are waiting for the production every day to supply to the customer, then one of the mitigations is to increase the inventory of the finished goods a little bit more. Okay, this is one of the mitigations. If you have an unqualified supplier or a bad supplier, then you will just increase a little bit of your raw material. If you do not have enough capacity, you will just increase the capacity. Those are the ones, because remember, we are all here at the end of the day. We need to give the customer the finished goods, whatever he requested, a service or whatever. The mitigation will always be, yes, is he receiving his product on time or not? I'll tell you, we are all here in UAE. Amazon here is delivering next day, right? And sometimes when they see the address in Ras Al Khaimah, they will tell you 2 days or 3 days, right? While if you are living in Dubai, okay, Amazon is delivering same day, and sometimes Carrefour, some branches is delivering in 1 hour. One of the things that you cannot mitigate in the supply chain of Ras Al Khaimah, that we are far 200 kilometers away. Okay, so I would say you need every case is specific where you want to focus, but your main target every day when you wake up in the morning, the first thing is, will I deliver today to my customer or not? Okay, what else?
Great.
I'm all yours. This day is all about you.
Yes, that's right. Here, one of our team member wants to ask you one question. Globalization or localization? Which one is good for supply chain management in the current scenario?
Oh, this is political. First, globalization is good, so we can all be as expats getting jobs in UAE, right? So this is number one. Globalization is good. Okay. No, I'll tell you one. First, full offshore globalization is bad, is extremely bad. Okay, I see it poor management decisions. Okay, since and this is my this was always my position. I hate that the headquarters will be sitting in one area, and then you have poor countries, unfortunately, having all the factories and affecting the main source. I am with a balance and a balanced distribution of your resources, and for every single item you need to have at least one backup in a total different place. Yeah, For me, to have two factories producing this cup in UAE is wrong. One factory should be in UAE and the other maybe in Italy, maybe in India. So if UAE close the borders tomorrow, I have the other one to supply my customers, and they should be supplying the same identical. So do not put 100% of your volume to be produced in one place. Do not make all your volume coming from one supplier, because this supplier, I had a situation before, and this one I was young in the supply chain, and at the time I was handling with the purchase. It was a packing material supplier and the carton supplier, and it was a self-owned business, extremely good supplier, extremely good prices, extremely good everything. Then his father died. His father was old and not managing the business. The guy himself, his father died. So the whole factory closed, going to pay the condolences in the hometown of the guy for 3 days. 3 days, the factory is closed. Nobody is replying on his phone. No one is replying on the email, and without a prior notice. We got screwed. So everything should be balanced. Okay. What else?
Yeah, we have two more questions here. I'll take only that two last, and other questions, I'm sorry guys, I'll get his answers and I'll share you in your personal emails as we are running out of the time. The next question from Shamel from ARC International: how we can plan to mitigate current risk in import of container and vessels due to shortage supplier. Okay, so he's talking about containers and vessels of shortages.
Okay. Why the containers have shortage? Because everyone is trying to help his own country. So we need to appreciate that those countries are supporting themselves. Now we are faced by three issues in this year. Number one is container cost. It is not shortage, because if you pay $10,000, you will get the container. Number two is the ship sets unavailability. Okay. Then the third one is to see what after the epidemic, the antiviruses and all this. The three are connected together. They are connected with one thing that unfortunately you as purchaser and myself as supply chain cannot control. It is controlled by greed. The people are greedy. Right now, you want to mitigate, get another supply from another place, even if it is more expensive. Okay. Don't look that China is the only source or India is the only source or whatever, because right now there is a container shortage. You know why? 10 years back, there was a magnificent company designing containers that can get squeezed after usage. Okay. And then get flattened again when it is time to use it. So you can save the space on the ship and the port to utilize it. But nobody wanted to invest in this company years back. Why? Because the big players does not want to lose the market of the sea vessel containers. I'm telling you right now, I'm in contact with this company to get of those containers, because if we can start this industry and redo it again, there will not be shortage of any containers. Number two, change the mode of transportation. What does it mean? The sea vessel container, maybe you need to rent a small vessel. You here as a community, you can agree together. Instead of every single one of you going to the shipping line, you make a committee and you go with a request of 500 container at the same time. Because by the way, you and your competitors are the people on this call. All of you are talking to the same shipping line, the same destination from the same source, and you are taking the volume from each other. They are using you against each other. So if you just go and say, hi guys, we are all together, we want this price, or none of us will take the orders. Simple. Not easy. Simple. Okay. What else?
It used to happen in our purchasing also. Like we used to handle single vendor, but different type of purchases for like same vendor. We used to handle one for spare parts, one for some manufacturing thing. So this used to happen, and it's really good answer. Thank you so much, Mr. Wala.
I'm trying to be smart as much as possible.
That's really a good answer, I can say. I'll take only last question. I'm from Raghavendran. He has two questions. One is, what is the best option, 3PL or 4PL, or managing ourselves?
Okay.
Second question, logistics is tied up with insurance and it's costly and risky too. The best way, or how do we manage effectively?
Okay. 3PL, 4PL, or manage it ourselves. Again, I love the hybrid models. Okay, if you will tell me go for a full diesel car or a full Tesla electric car or hybrid, I will go for the hybrid. Okay, simple. You need first to manage it yourself. Know its in and outs, 100%. Then get a 3PL for the services you don't want to get involved in. Like for me, why the hell I will get involved in the drivers? Okay, I'm a manufacturer of ceramics. Why I will manage a driving company? There are better people to see the level of oil in the truck and how many times we changed the tire and. Okay, it's a choice. If they are capable to manage it, you can switch them to manage a 4PL, which they can manage not only the trucking service, but also the customer service and the end interface with the customer. We had a practice, Bala knows it well. We switched from managing ourselves to a 4PL, but unfortunately, he didn't manage it as a 4PL. He just managed it as a pure 2PL. He was just a truck provider, while the contract is saying 4PL. What we have done after a failure of a couple of months, thank you. I took the other two of the 4PL. Okay, you are a trucker, I will manage. I made my own control tower. We will focus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then after a while, khalas, now the system is settled. We are talking with him again. Yeah, take it. We fixed it. Because again, I'm a ceramic producer. I need to focus on the ceramics. Okay. So there is the Ford model that you own everything. And there is the outsource everything. I'm trying to be a balanced person. Be at the middle. Okay. Then the other question is talking about the insurance. Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, that is about cost, when it is like, one minute, I'll read that. So they are talking about we have to pay a lot of insurances, lot of cost, and it is risky things are there. So how you are going to manage this insurance when it comes to logistics part?
Okay. Insurance is, let's talk about our health insurance. Of course, we will be happy to have this health insurance in our pocket instead of paying it and not utilizing for the whole year, right? But it is enough to have one crisis that someone gets hospitalized for 3-4 days, and you will pay. If you will sell your kidney, you cannot pay for the insurance for the cost of the hospital, right? So it's a needed evil, unfortunately, in our modern world. Okay, if you do not have insurance on your product, whatever its cost, you are just taking the risk that with every movement, remember when we were saying 50x, with every single movement, something can happen. Okay, so for me, as you saw in my box, insurance comes as a must. You need to do it, whatever it is. Actually, for me as a person, I will go always for the most extensive, most detailed insurance to cover 100% of the shipment, even in case of to tsunami or war. If it is my choice, in my previous companies, when I was leading the purchasing, I was going to the most expensive insurance all the time, because this is the only way to protect my factory. Okay. Again,
Yes, we come to the
personal
end.
choice. It's a personal choice.
That's true. Everyone will, they have to take the risk. There is no other way, by paying extra or they're paying a normal one.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, sorry. So we come to the end now, and thank you so much, Mr. Wala, for your excellent insights.
Thanks a lot.
I should say, like, it was indeed a quite informative and enlightening of the slides, and we really impressed on few slides, like a supply chain manager is not about thinking about only, trucks and shipments and all. It is like something he has to do multitasking job. Every time something should go on his mind. And while seeing your systems and the way you're managing your work, people are asking us that how he's managing this many systems into his background. So we really thank you for taking the time out today to share your journey and tips with our attendees.
All yours at any time.
So we took a lot of takeaways, and I'm sure the attendees would have captured many more. We look forward to many of these similar events in the future. And in this context, we extend our gratitude to all CIPS branches and offices, its officiating members and volunteers regionally and globally for joining hands in bringing event and after event. We are running for the past 3-4 years and successfully running all the events every month in different topics. And we are lucky to have you here on logistics management. And we know you are a leader in this, and I'm sure you have to give us some more time to elaborate more on logistics in future. We are requesting you, it's our request.
Just choose, you have the slides, choose a topic and we can talk in it in detail. Okay. And again, I love doing this. Okay. It keep me connected to the network. It keep me connected to the needs. Okay. And as well, it keep me alerted about back to basics. As a supply chain head, maybe sometimes I lose the basics. I lose the focus on the poor forklifter on the ground. Okay. But every time I make those slides and I look at it, I know why the hell I wake up in the morning. Okay. This is important. And I see anyone who's disconnected from the network and helping the people is just, he will be forgotten one day.
That's greatness of you. And so you like every day something new to be done.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, what the hell I will wake up. Okay. Yeah, it's like, oh, which crisis today will solve? And we have a lot, huh?
And anyway, is like as usual, these events are for you people, guys, and there is no success without all of you here and our attendees. So we are so lucky to have you here today. And if we are not able to answer some questions, surely we'll take up with Mr. Wala and we'll get that answer to be done, and we'll send it to your emails. And thank you once again to make it as an interactive, and feel free to reach out on WhatsApp and LinkedIn groups. And of course, as Mr. Wala, he to have his YouTube groups, and so please subscribe that. And finally, before I close out, let me remind you that this is a record session, and the recording will be stored in CIPS MENA webinars page, and we'll share the link if you require it. If you require any information or anything, specific feedback you want to give it to us related to the session or past or future sessions, please feel free to write us on CIPS any branch, northern.emirates@cipsbranch.org. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and see you in our next event. And thank you, Mr. Wala.
Thanks a lot for everyone, and sorry for my noisy lecture as usual.
No, it's really impressive. People are telling that we are really feeling proud that we are supply chain management professionals.
Yeah. Good, great, good. Yeah, let's have our own union. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
once again,
thanks
and
a
see
lot.
you soon. Take
Thank
care.
you. Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.